Hi friends, Sarah here with The Holy Mess. And as we continue the Weight Watchers Success Series, I wanted to show you some of my very favorite low point foods. You could even say these are some foods I can't live without while I'm doing the Weight Watchers program. I love to find food finds, which are foods that I think are really satisfying, taste great, but are low in points. So this is a brand new one for me. This is from the company Real Food from the Ground Up. That's what the label looks like. And this is Butternut Squash Pretzels, if you can believe it or not. This is from cassava flour, squash flour. It's got cauliflower flour, salt, vegetable blend that includes spinach, broccoli, carrots, tomatoes, beets, shiitake mushrooms, and a few spices. And these are really delicious. Now I'm still trying out some of these. There are cauliflower chips and a variety of flavors. This is the first one that I tried, but I've seen several others in the store. So these are 3 points. This is one of my favorite drinks. It can be a little bit hard to find, but this is from Red Rose, and these are their dessert teas. This one is strawberry cheesecake. My very favorite is this one, which is lemon cake. And they also have a caramel apple. Now these do have stevia in it, so just be aware of that if you are very careful with sweeteners, but the taste is absolutely delicious. It really is like drinking a dessert. I love popcorn. And this is the Smart Pop by Orville Redenbacher. I prefer the Kettle Corn. These are 3 points. I know some people have concerns with the safety of microwave popcorn. Another option is to use a microwave popper. Ours is falling apart. We've used it so much, but we've gotten so much use out of it. We also have a tabletop air popper, and I'll spray it with a little bit of like Pam type cooking spray to give it some of that flavor and make the salt stick, and then put salt. You could even put just a little sprinkle of sweetener on it if you want more of a kettle corn type flavor. Those are 3 points. I am loving the Trader Joe's seasoning mixes. So one of my very favorites is the Everything But the Bagel seasoning, and this is really popular with people who make bagels with the 2-ingredient dough, and that recipe is on my website, but it's Greek yogurt and white self-rising flour. You mix those two together and you can make bagels, you can make pizza crust, you can make breadsticks, but a lot of people really like to make the bagels and use this seasoning. I actually like this seasoning on all kinds of different things. I'll have it on my scrambled eggs in the morning, or a sunny side up egg, vegetables. You can even coat chicken with it. Now this is 0 points, but if you use a lot of it, it does have some points because this has some different seeds in it, but you would have to use a lot for it to have any points. This is a brand new one for me. This is the Trader Joe's Chili Lime seasoning. Now, just so you know, if you don't have a Trader Joe's near you, you can get these seasonings on Amazon. This has a great flavor. It has a really strong lime flavor, and it has some heat, but it's not super spicy. And then I'm just trying for the first time their 21 seasoning Salute, also from Trader Joe's, and it's really good. Also good on like eggs or vegetables. I think it would be wonderful on grilled chicken. Very, very good. So I'm loving the Trader Joe's seasoning, and those are the other seasonings are 0 points. Super fast and easy mandarin orange cups. These are 0 points. I grab them out of what I have for my kids' lunches, but no points. Another one I'm loving lately is applesauce. Now make sure that you get the applesauce that has no added sugar. And what is so good, if you can take the time to do it, is to make your own homemade applesauce. It's actually really easy. So you can take 8 to 10 apples, cut them up, well, peel them first and then cut them up. You can just put them in big chunks. You don't even have to slice them small. 1 cup of water and about 1 to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. That's it. You can boil it on the stovetop for a couple hours. You can put it in the crock pot for 4 to 6 hours on low, Or you can use the Instant Pot and cook it on the manual or pressure cook setting for 4 minutes and allow it to natural release for a couple minutes, and then you can quick release. This applesauce is so good. It tastes nothing like what you buy in the store. It's almost like eating the inside of an apple pie. You could add sugar, or you could add, which would add points, or you could add sweetener, which wouldn't add any points, but I don't. It really tastes very good just the way it is, really, especially if you eat it warm. It does taste like apple pie. So that's 0 points for both of those. I love butternut squash. So this is the pre-cut, and I gotta say, even if you're on a budget, the pre-cut is the way to go, because a regular squash is kind of a pain to cut up, but there is so much you can do with this. You can add it to casseroles, you can add it to chili. It's 0 points. I love to roast it with just a little bit of cooking spray or olive oil, just to add the points for the olive oil. One of my favorite combinations is butternut squash and Brussels sprouts. Both of those roasted, and if you have the points, sprinkle a little bit of goat cheese or feta cheese and measure out a few pecans. Oh my goodness, that is like, it's like a dessert, but it's also a wonderful side dish for a regular meal or at Thanksgiving. It's so good. Speaking of squash, I'm a big fan of spaghetti squash. These are not that hard to make. I prick a couple holes in it, stick it in the microwave for like 5 minutes, let it cool for a minute, then it's super easy to cut. You're gonna cut it in half, scoop out the seeds, and cook it for a few more minutes in the microwave with a little bit of water. It's great, just like that. You can also cook it in your Instant Pot, or you can roast it in the oven too. Take a fork and pull out the strands, and it's a great replacement for spaghetti. Now, I'll tell you right now, it doesn't taste the same as spaghetti. It's definitely not the same texture, but I really enjoy it. So I'll have that with spaghetti sauce when my family is having spaghetti. You can also eat it as a side dish. It's great with just some salt. I like it with a little bit of brown sugar or sweetener. Again, count the points, but the spaghetti squash itself does not have any points. Another thing I like to do with spaghetti squash is, especially if I have leftovers from the night before for my lunch the next day, I'll do layers of spaghetti squash, a little bit of spaghetti sauce, and I use the Hunt's that comes in the can because some of those are only 1 point per serving. And then I will do drained cottage cheese and a little sprinkling of Parmesan cheese on top. It almost tastes like lasagna. You can do 1 layer or 2 layers. I just do it in a bowl and put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes. It's really, really good. So the points on that are going to be 1 point for the spaghetti sauce, 1 point for the Parmesan cheese, and depends on how much cottage cheese you use, but maybe 3 points. Really good. A big favorite of Weight Watchers members is the Premier Protein. This is the vanilla. You can drink it as is, although I'll say I'm not a huge fan of drinking it plain, but it's really good as a replacement for your coffee creamer. The vanilla is good. My favorite is actually the caramel. Really, really good, or also the chocolate as a replacement for coffee creamer. You can also use it in smoothies, which is another delicious option. Just keep in mind that if you add blended fruit, the fruit has points. Fruit is 0 points, but if you blend it, you need to count the points because of the way that the body processes points. So I know that's a bummer, but just important to keep in mind. So these are good. I've even tried before making pudding out of it for a protein pudding. So you would replace part or all of the milk with the Premier Protein, and it's a really, really thick. So that would be if you use like a Jell-O sugar-free pudding would be the lowest points for that. So these are 2 points. And I also really like almond milk. This is the Almond Breeze Vanilla Unsweetened, and it's 1 point for a cup. And I use this as a replacement for all types of milk that I would drink, that I would use in recipes, that I would have on cereal, and it's such a great alternative. So there you have it. Those are 10 different Weight Watchers products that I personally can't live without and I am loving right now. This is the Weight Watchers Success Series. Please take a minute to watch some of the other videos in the series. Come see me on theholymess.com, where I have lots more Weight Watchers ideas, tips, and recipes. I'm Sarah. Thanks so much for watching.